Welcome to another episode of, not even another. I said this shit like we've been doing, like
I was about to correct you on
like we've been getting it in all year.
Dude.
Welcome to the other side of Vegas. I'm your host, Roy Evans.
Bruno Browning.
And this will be the first COVID-19 edition.
COVID-19.
Yep.
Is this the first one? How many? Is this the first one of the year?
This is like the second one, I think.
We've really been put in the work.
Man, but all over it, yo. All over it.
Hey, listen. You know what? They know.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got one in, and then it was pretty much quarantine right after that.
I think we should be praised that we're even doing one. He could be sick as a dog. I don't know. I still ain't got all my taste back.
Well, the thing about it is that we both agreed that because we could have done it safely in a bunch of different ways, but in the end, I really didn't have anything to say.
Scared money don't make money.
You know, I didn't have any. And especially and as much as I appreciate everybody that all the offers I had gotten, you know, to DJ events, and
This guy.
I didn't have anything to say. But I hope everybody's doing good.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope everybody's at least being some version of safe.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly, but yeah, man.
Listen, I ain't scared.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of bullshit. At the very least, there's a lot of bullshit when it comes to this quarantine shit. And I'm not gonna get too deep into it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that I did pretty well in school.
I died.
But it still doesn't make me an expert. And I don't feel too inadequate saying that I probably did better than most of you motherfuckers in school.
I know.
And I'm not gonna act like I know what the fuck is going on. You know, at least with with this fucking religious fervor, these motherfuckers is like everyone's staking their claim like that's what they do for a living and shit. You know.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is that even those that governors don't fucking know. I'm just gonna start there.
My thing is inconsistencies.
Yeah.
I have a problem. I mean, and listen, I got a degree in science. Doesn't mean I know, but I do know some things. Fucking, there's no consistency. Nothing's laid out. I can't get around why some things are open and some things are not. Obviously, what affects us right off the bat, gigs. I can kind of understand where their process on that is, or their thought process, but I can't understand why they can't wash my car. Not that I can afford the motherfucker, but they can't wash my car, but I can go to Vaughn's. I don't understand that. And I don't understand it seems like the government is picking and choosing on the local level, winners and losers. Because if you do what people are doing at Vaughn's or Albertsons where I shop, they got their masks, they got this, they got that. Why are you choosing them over? I get food, but what's the difference? And no one's explained that to me yet, and I don't think they will. And that's my biggest pet peeve. And we gotta go to work.
I think generally speaking that falls in line with my overarching theory. For me, it goes a step higher because it encompasses everything. And what I mean by that is that we've yet to have a comprehensive conversation about this shit. You know, something coming from the top down that says, well, on one side, what I'm about to say is somewhat impossible because they don't know what it's like to live like regular folk.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm not surprised at their inability to
empathize.
Not even empathize, but to at least be able to articulate that I'm trying to wrap my head around what it's like to be common folk, and
they can't even recognize.
Recognize? They can't even reckon. Well, I reckon.
I find that offensive.
What you're doing is wrecking shop in people's houses, but the unwilling or the inability to make some effort towards some sort of logistics. It's kind of like, like homegirl here. I'm not even gonna say her fucking name. I'm all for her wanting to open in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But once even after you get the reaction that you got, like, okay, but how?
Well, I got
The inability just to even if it's wrong, to be able to articulate with some confidence. Hey, look, this is the plan. The PLAN. Like.
No, you're exactly right.
And this is how we're going to do it. And obviously, and it could be tweaked along the way. Like
but
adults.
It almost has to be. Well, my thing is this, and this is going to. You know what? I know you said you play the asshole, but what the hell? I can't help myself, and you knew that. My thing is this, and this is going to sound really, really bad, but and people that know me, you know what? People got to die. That's how it is. I'm sorry. I'm not saying willy-nilly. And I know people post these things. Well, imagine it's your loved one. I've made decisions where I knew had to send someone to die. I've done that. It's not easy. However, there's got to be some middle ground. We can't protect ourselves in a bubble. There has to be common sense. If you're elderly, if you have this or that, then you stay at home and let people go to work. If people are not, they should be able to work. I don't know what that looks like, but some hands have got to be dirty. And that's just my opinion. And I'm willing to do it. I'm not saying everybody else do it. We can't stay at home forever. That can't happen.
Well, I mean,
it's impossible.
That sort of encompasses my earlier phrase, some sort of safe. Whatever that means to whoever is necessary.
Yeah.
And, if you're immunocompromised, stay the fuck home.
Yeah.
Because
that just makes sense, though.
Exactly. We don't need panic for that. Generally speaking, I agree with the sentiment. The only one amendment I will make is not that people gotta die. People are gonna die.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They are gonna die, and it's fucked up. I got family members in the hospital.
Exactly.
Right now.
Yeah, I know that.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. But for everyone that says, oh, well, what about the flu? Yeah, motherfuckers die from that shit too. Yeah. So I don't want to be on some, well, what's the difference kind of shit.
Well, because there is a distinct difference.
Yeah.
But I don't know how.
The only difference is like that the particular set of circumstances. To me, the overarching theory is that people are going to die. And that sucks. But when I talk about, that the lack of comprehensive conversation, from our leaders,
well,
just the fact that we still don't have ample testing, and I'm not even going to say compared to anybody else, the other countries got blah, 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 fuck all that. Bottom line is that in 2 months we still don't have, not enough people know whether or not they got it or have had it.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, listen,
and we should be able to do that without, without registering for Facebook. We should be able to do that without being fucking, giving up your goddamn identity. You got GPS trackers in your shit,
Sign up for that app if you want to.
Yeah, you got the fucking Motorola antenna enema. What the fuck is this?
Well, dude, I have a problem with, you give people too much authority, they lose their mind. I have a problem with people taking down your name if you do X, Y, and Z. That's a police state. I have a problem with that. I really do. If you had that video that was making the rounds with the cops came, I think it was in Minnesota, or one of those northern states, where her kid was playing with someplace, or another parent's house, or another family's house down the street. The cops came and took her name down and got in her shit because she let her kid. Those two families, And listen,
okay.
Those of you might be too young to remember. I know you're not. Hey, Paul's got chickenpox down the street. I know it's not the same thing, but the fact that someone can come in and say, "Hey, you, boom, boom, boom," for doing something because I have a problem with that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you can be reckless, but I have a problem with giving up my rights a little bit. Call me crazy. I mean, I know it sounds terrible to say that, but fuck it. No, I don't say terrible. Fuck that. I ain't saying it. Fuck it. I ain't saying it. I don't like giving up my rights. I don't like it.
I think it's a valid concern. See, I'm in a slightly funky position when it comes to that because, I have this. Generally speaking, I have this saying where if companies could only be in business if they strictly adhere to their mission statement, a lot of companies wouldn't be in business.
Well, yeah.
And in that vein, I consider the U.S. a business. The way it's structured, it's run like a business. But we don't adhere to our mission statement.
Well, it's not that kind.
You know what I mean?
It's not that black.
So
and white.
on one side, yeah, I mean, but if I use that as the moral compass,
yeah,
for which things are determined, then I can see where there's no one side is going to be happy. You know what I mean? Because
this is true.
Because the way we're set up, it makes it so that doing that is impossible. Doing what's right and keeping everybody's civil liberties. They almost.
No, it's not. You don't give up. You don't give up your civil liberties.
Well, I'll put it like this. Because I'm not an advocate of it. But I'm talking about it from a power perspective. Those that are, for lack of a better phrase, in power. If you were in power, it would make sense to do things the way you're doing it.
That's called dictatorship.
Oh, of course. But it's like certain aspects of, I'm not gonna go down the racial. I'm not.
You're trying to get racial.
Yeah, I almost made an analogy, and I'm like,
a racist analogy, evidently.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. My thing is that if you were in power, it makes sense if you want to keep that power that you move a certain way, and of course that becomes a dictatorship. But that's where the push and pull comes from.
Well, my thing is that people are so willing to give up their freedoms for this stuff, and I'm just not doing it.
Well, why would they fight for their freedoms if they didn't fight for net neutrality?
Oh, fuck, listen. Okay. I put it like this. Okay, I got enough metal in my body for fighting in wars that I can't get behind it. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I was about to get my Ike Turner on with Katie the other day because she was begging, but you got to do this, you got to wash your hands, and I'm washing my hands, but she's lost her damn mind. Franny snapped the other day. She goes, I wash my hands. But that's the type of that. I guess what I'm saying is that you can't let fear control you and let them give up everything up. Listen, people are going to get sick, and it's terrible. People aren't going to make it. That's terrible. But let it control you. I've had more concern. People have tried to put more restrictions on me for this than I did in Africa with Ebola, and I'll say it, third world shithole. Yeah, I'll say it. That's me saying it, because let me tell you, Mogadishu sucks. So anybody tells you otherwise has never been there. My point being, if I took less precautions there, mandated precautions, than here. And so as a thinking person, I'm trying to figure out what's, I'm at a fault. Have we become a little?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're soft.
Yeah.
We're soft.
That was going to be my comeback, because you're kind of expecting, and that's why I said it. It's like registering for Facebook, because people have already gotten used to giving away their privacy.
That's right.
And here it is. I still got a goddamn paper shredder. Like, why the?
Because you're stupid.
But, and there's certain aspects of it that are just...
I wish we could pan the camera down them damn CDs he's got down there. I'm sorry.
The thing about it is that, we've given up certain aspects of privacy so easily that a lot of people, regardless to which way you swing as far as whether or not you believe that this is what it takes to be safe, or if you believe that this is a hoax, and if you're somewhere in the middle, like, I don't know what the fuck.
I like that you said that, somewhere in the middle, because it doesn't have to be a prison of two ideas.
No.
It doesn't have to be one or the other. There's something in the middle that's accurate, or at least closer to accurate, and that's kind of where I'm searching for. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm glad you said that.
Well, the thing about it is that a lot of the divide is the linchpin for most of the divide right now is intent.
Yeah. But intent doesn't matter. Not really.
To functioning adults.
Yeah. I like how you said that.
Yeah, like of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking common sense, then no, it doesn't fucking matter. But,
This way, man, we have got. Listen, fuck it all. We got to do another show because we haven't done this. This is the first time we've seen each other in how long?
in a minute.
Like seriously, I'm not to cut you off, but just the way you said it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have this conversation with a rational person, then you would both probably be somewhere in the middle, or at some side of the middle.
Some side of the middle.
Because the thing is that. Again, I'm no scientist, I'm no fucking doctor, and I wasn't in the fucking the white dudes only meeting. I didn't hear that fucking conspiracy, which doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. The bottom line is that you didn't fucking hear it. So
yeah,
my thing is, especially,
that's a good way to look at it.
I do the same thing with racism. If you take away the intent, is it not still fucked up?
Yep.
And if it's still fucked up, fuck who's behind it. Is it Billy Bob? Is it the system?
It's irrelevant.
It's fucked up. How do we fix it? And that basically shows sincerity. And that's what we haven't gotten from the top down. That's why we can't get the information, because no one's not only willing to imagine what it's like to be in our shoes, no one's willing to say, hey, look, not only do I understand what it's like to be in your shoes, but I'm actually there with you.
Right.
And I want to make sure that whatever it takes, within reason, we're going to do our best. Because if that was the case, it wouldn't have been a one-time loan of $1,200.
Listen, let me show you exactly how this drives me nuts. And I'm gonna get. We can all agree on this. Let's talk about Governor fucking Sleestack, whatever. No, I'm talking about him. Fuck him.
Yeah.
And his shitty podcast or his shitty interview.
Governor Sissy.
Yeah. First off, if our show looks better than yours, get your shit together. Like they just cracked the code of a telephone. But that's a whole other day. Nevada is
and this is bottom of the barrel gear.
Dude. Hooker by Cook Productions, dude. Listen, it's all him. But that's a tale for the other day. Nevada is the last state we still haven't got unemployment for self-employed.
Yeah.
And I got our governor talking, he goes, oh, we're all hurting. You ain't hurting, motherfucker. You got a job for now. You have a job, and you can't even get the unemployment for self-employed. We have had zero money coming in since March, and we're all together only go so far. You know what I mean? And they're saying mid-March, there's no sympathy, there's no empathy, there's no nothing, because they're not living the life.
Yeah.
And it's hard to take anyone serious like that. Who you go to the website. And you guys from Nevada understand, there's not even a landing page. I could write a landing page in 15 minutes, code it out, and say, hey, this is what's going on. So for the whole time, until maybe last week, for like a month, almost 2 months, we're looking every day, calling every day, don't know nothing, filing erroneously. You know what I mean? Which could potentially clog up the system, because no one had the good sense to say, you know what we need to do? An information page or the landing page of the unemployment, that'd probably be a good idea. Or also maybe hire some more people to answer the phone and maybe not let them take off Saturday and Sunday till this gets sorted out. That would show real intent of that would be action. That wouldn't be intent. Fuck it. That'd be action.
Well, I mean, it's a byproduct of.
Sorry, I went on a little rant there.
It's a byproduct of sincerity.
Yeah.
It's like me trying to convey something, let's say to my kid. Let's say you talk to your kid and you're trying to explain something, they go, I know. Well, motherfucker, if you knew, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So to reverse engineer that statement, to know is to act as if.
There you go.
And it's like, if you aren't doing the fuck?
See, COVID-19.
But it's as easy as something as simple as, well, not easy, but intent-wise, everybody with a fucking bank account, just make a fucking deposit.
There you go.
And figure it out on the back end.
There you go. Because you can police up the people who don't. You can come. But get those people paid right off the bat. The people who do, because that's easy.
Yeah,
That's easy.
And that's a broad. I'm being a little, benign with it. Obviously you want to be a little more targeted, but still.
But your point's accurate.
I mean, there's no reason for. I'm not even going to go as far as backing up our arrogance when it comes to in comparison to other countries, but that we live in a fucking society where we've sort of kidnapped a particular status just by proxy. Like we earned that shit decades ago. Mm-hmm. We still been kind of living off the residuals, of that, but we hadn't earned that in forever. Like no part of our infrastructure supports our arrogance. You know what I mean? Like as far as
we feed 40% of the world, though.
Huh?
We feed 40% of the world.
Yeah, we still have motherfuckers hungry.
Well, I'm saying, but so arrogance.
So I mean, like
people, yeah,
it's like the whole thing. Well, that's other places. You can drop bags of rice on people for decades. Fucking mud pies.
Racist as hell, dude.
You dropping bags of rice, but at the same time, as long as there's a motherfucker with a gun, somebody's gonna be hungry.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's not that. Well, I do feel a certain way about us feeding other fucking countries, though.
I don't know. I'm pretty close to that one. Yeah. But regardless, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no. Listen, there's nothing that says we're not going to get everything right.
No one is.
But God, why does it always go back to like parenting and shit? Because
we act like a bunch of kids.
And these are literally the values I try to impart. You know what I mean? But the only thing more important than doing what needs to be done is doing it when it needs to be done. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
The fact that they couldn't make a move until they figured out what was going to happen with the companies first, that took like an extra week and a half. Like, come on, man. It's fucking silly.
I mean, I get their thinking on it, though, because you gotta, that drives the train. I get it's the wrong execution of a right idea. Like, I get it. But we should be able to chew bubble gum and walk at the same time.
God, we haven't done that shit in decades.
You know what we need to talk about? Streaming.
Why?
Because it seems to be working for some people.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed Matt's because I like this in the kitchen, and he plays good cuts.
Here's the thing. I'm a little apprehensive about commenting on it because me personally, my personal views on it, I feel don't necessarily match up for reasons that almost disqualify me. What I mean by that is, once this shit started, I was completely out of a music headspace.
Yeah,
I didn't want to listen to no fucking music.
It's weird.
I was having like some like personal reactions to the shit.
Yeah.
And the short version is that I was starting to feel a certain kind of way with the way that we're willing to treat each other. Like once it got to a point where I had to put my hands on somebody over some COVID-19 shit, it's like well, what the fuck is going on here, man?
Walmart again.
Of course I was.
You can't go to Walmart or 7-Eleven. You might get you will. There's a good chance this one's going to throw bows. Only in his neighborhood, though. He's got lessons to prove, points to make. Nicest
I
man.
get to knock a motherfucker on his ass and then have a fucking TED talk. The fuck is this shit coming to, yo?
That's what you do. And I'm the asshole.
Well, you are the asshole,
Yeah,
but no. It's not like I'm completely unqualified.
I think it's good. Listen, I think that my take was you even did a graphic for me. I was getting all into it, and I was like, then I'm like, man, this is just so much. Good Lord, and just, I could have done it. I have a problem with people's backgrounds or whatever, but I had a problem with the sound and this and that and the other, and so I chose not to do it. I enjoy. I listen to one. I listen to Matt's on Friday nights. Because there's people in that little chat room that we all know. So that's kind of good. You know, you can hit people up. We can bust Ricky's balls a little bit for whatever. Just choose whatever you want to choose. But I don't feel like it was right for me. And I heard someone today say that, we're all even now. We're all equal now as DJs. That's bullshit. You weren't getting booked before COVID-19. You ain't gonna get booked after, or not right off the bat. You will maybe eventually, but that's just wishful fucking thinking. That's not me being an asshole. It's just don't think this is some panacea because you're streaming all of a sudden and everyone's equal. Yeah, everyone's streaming, but doesn't mean when people fly again that you're gonna be at the front of the damn TSA line. I know, I'm an asshole. Well, that's just a dumb statement. We're all, I mean, it's just a dumb statement, dude.
Well, here's the thing. You, sir, are wrong. But I can see why you thought you were right, though. I'm going to give you that. Because on the streaming side, you know, there were some pretty cringeworthy moments. And it was the kind of thing where I made a remark that even the rookies are looking like the pros now because
maybe more so.
Because what was it? DJ Premier and RZA, like that stream sucked. It was a different kind of suck. It was like, oh, what the fuck? It's like painful. It's like watching Ali box when he shouldn't have been. Like
when he had a mustache.
Like on some past the prime. Like yo, like fam, what are you doing? You know, hire somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing. What was it? Teddy Riley and Babyface.
Yeah.
Come on, man. But with that said, on the streaming side of things, I have a couple of thoughts on it. In no particular order. Now, part of my thoughts is because personally, I just didn't want to listen to music.
Right.
You know, so initially when it came to streaming, I would just I would click on it, but I wouldn't watch.
Right.
That's about as far as my support could get. You know, I'll give you a like, I'll give you a click, you know, because I appreciate people making themselves vulnerable, putting themselves out there, you know, and subjecting themselves potentially to other people.
Yeah.
You know, ridicule or not. So with that said, I appreciate the vulnerability. I appreciate you sharing what you love. Another point is just how mediocre in the end it all looks.
Yeah.
Or seems. Because it's bad enough that, you know, it was already getting a little mundane, you know.
Before this.
But before quarantine.
Oh, we were dude, if you heard, if they only heard.
You know, so for everyone to be in quarantine and now everybody's streams are just, you know, timelines are flooded with streams of, you know.
At least they got the shirts on.
One would hope. Yeah, matter of fact, I saw a dude go, just keep fucking scrolling. Luckily, I was on my phone and it didn't just start auto playing. But
I think if it works for them, if it works for them and people, we're pretty critical about things like that. Like I can honestly say I thoroughly enjoy, and I've got some bias obviously because I think the way Matt did it with the couching it, saying as a House Music Friday, and everyone that's there. A lot of that people are in the chat room. That's the good part. Matt's doing his thing. Say hey, man, hey, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of cool. I enjoy that. But I don't have time to listen to everyone's streams. I just don't because I'm still going through music and stuff as I'm doing work around the house. You know what I mean?
Well, let's pick it apart from a more practical / serious note. You know, what he's referring to, I put in a different context because that was a going night.
Yeah, that's what
And he's kind of keeping that momentum where like he has a following. People, they would prioritize house, you know, AC Lounge, House Music Friday every Friday.
Happy birthday, AC Lounge.
So that makes sense. And it's totally different. Where dude made that comment about, I guess we're all the same now, because he feels like on one side you can get lucky. You know, the guy that no one books, you know, there is a guy, there are a lot of guys that nobody books that should have been getting booked a long time ago.
Oh, God, yeah.
But he's just fucking over it and he's not going to kiss ass, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to be cats like that, you know, you see go live and it's like, holy shit, so-and-so is live and blah, 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 blah. you know. But just because you have the ability, you know, to go live, you know, like the one thread I commented on when my man Sensei was talking about just stream quality,
Yeah.
as opposed to, you know, using the ambient mic on your phone and listening to conversations and shit like that.
Yeah.
As well as just what you see in that frame, you know.
Right.
Why should I watch you, you know, and look at your, you know,
Dirty drawers.
your dirty socks, fucking your salt lamp. Like after, I mean,
He said
you're not.
salt lamp.
I don't care how many throw rugs you got and how many furry vests you know what I mean. But it's just not, you know, your USB disco balls and a lot of those things help and it you know, do what you do and share what you share. But my thing is that the dude's argument was that seems like a lot of trouble to go through, you know, for two people or a handful of people in your room for a couple of minutes. That's totally different.
Yeah.
Whether or not your shit sucks or not is a totally different situation as to whether or not, if you're gonna do something, at least, you know, I don't hear, you know, the echo in the room because you're not even,
Yeah.
you know, tying into the mixer. Like all these little things that you can do with a $6 cable,
Yeah.
you know, and a little bit of Googleage.
Just a little bit. Hey, listen, don't discount the fact that just because you can play on streaming don't mean that you can play from the crowd either. Talking about
There's that
my
too.
man saying about all being equal. I'm just saying, you know, those are two separate kettles of fish. Because I have trouble doing it the opposite way. I didn't realize that until I tried to. I was going to record a set, and I'm like, whew, sucks. Because I couldn't read any. I couldn't read a crowd. That's the thing. I mean, obviously.
Well, I mean, you should be used to it. No. You know about a crowd, son.
Man, who you talking to? This.
But the thing about it, you would think that that's obvious.
It's not.
And yeah, it's just not. It's just not. So to me, it begs a slightly different question. When we've gotten this far, with a lot of seemingly obvious things being not noticed. Someone mentioned the other day about, you know, what people feel like, you know, going, you know, like from this day forward. And he said, like, if a promoter, I'm paraphrasing, but it's like if a promoter, you know, paid you $50, like, would you do it for the money or do it for the love? Like, what kind of question is that?
Did you
for $50
slap that person? And that, once again, what do you always say? Envy power does not take for the love. It doesn't.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Doesn't mean you don't love it.
At the same time, what it made me think of, on a slightly broader note, but equally important, is what that represents. What for the love represents. Basically, it implies not doing it just for the money. But when something is worth doing, it's able to be here because it takes money in order to exist.
None of this stuff is cheap.
And I'm trying to say it at a practical level. I'm not saying like, oh, it takes money, but there's somewhere in the middle. In order for it to exist, takes money.
Value. There's a value.
Overhead, like whatever it is, like
Yeah.
for it to exist, it takes money.
Yeah.
So how is it good business for us to think about that from a venue and establishment standpoint, but not from an event being thrown at that venue standpoint? So at some point, For the Love has a way of pacifying bad business.
There you go. That you just nailed it.
So just because, you know, I bring up that, you know, uncomfortable question about budget, it's not because I'm greedy or I'm not doing it for the love, but at the same time, I'm not gonna beat you in the head about my time being valuable and all this other shit.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that somebody's making money.
It becomes more. They use that. Makes it more palatable to say, oh, well, it's for the love, blah 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 blah. All that does is beget substandard.
Exactly, exactly. And I think one of the things that has helped perpetuate it is what's felt uncomfortable from cats that genuinely love this shit. But at some point, like how much can I continue to I don't want to say volunteer because it's not like volunteering is a bad thing, but for lack of a better word, let's call it volunteering my time to make somebody else's money, or to make someone else money. And yes, of course, there's more value than just monetary value. Yeah, sometimes it's worth it to just play with your homeboys, or there's that bucket list direct support,
There you go.
But a lot of those aren't worth doing either.
I would say recently none of those were, but that's just a whole other thing.
Yeah.
2-drink ticket, Tommy's. That's right, I said it, motherfuckers. I don't give a damn. Broaden my portfolio.
Oh shit.
What about your own damn portfolio?
2 drink tickets and no guest list.
Yeah, it's an inside joke.
And make sure you come around the back. Oh.
Damn. So what are you thinking? What are you thinking? We talk about the streaming deal, obviously. People can do whatever they want, and people can choose not to. But what are you thinking? I was just talking to T. Shout out to T. Mixwell, my sister from Chicago. Talking about gigs. She said, she's already looking at 2020 as a wrap. She said, people ask her to do some guest mix for this, that, and the other recorded stuff, but it's a wrap. So that kind of made me start thinking gigs. That's with all of us, that gig regularly. What do you think? You think it's gonna? I think it's gonna come back. I think it's gonna be a few gigs at the end of the year because I got something cracking with Kansas City underground.
Well, part of it, it's multifaceted. I think what was kind of promising is the fact that I've been offered money to stream. And
see, that's how passionately you feel about it.
Yeah.
That you should have led with that.
It's not like I can't use
I ain't even
it,
offer shit to stream.
Well, I mean, and I think that it's only right that it can, play a part in the economy.
Yeah.
As far as from an I appreciate you from the top down standpoint.
Yeah.
You got Mixcloud with their subscription based type shit now, where you can subscribe to a DJ channel.
And you can stream for that too.
Yeah.
Now, which is interesting.
And I think in subscribing, you get to check out the live stream. Something I haven't looked into it.
You should be a selector.
But the thing about it is that what I do, it comes. Yeah, I was trying to avoid it sounding corny about it coming from the heart. But that's the catalyst. That's why I made the phrase. I didn't have anything to say. Because if I'm gonna scream for attention in a sea of noise, it should be because I got something to say.
Yeah.
And if I ain't got nothing to say, I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
I like that. Well, listen, I think that the gigs are going to come back. I think that it has the potential of whatever that point is, where we can have full capacity. I think we're going to see some of the best parties we've ever seen, because people are going to be jonesing.
I hope so.
People are going to go buck fucking wild. This new normal bullshit. Shut the fuck up. There ain't no new normal. People adapt. We're social creatures.
If I were to hypothesize something good about the new normal,
there ain't no time. There ain't no new normal.
Well, I mean, if you go back to how kind of mediocre it all seems when you see how many people streaming, for the most part, we're all digging from the same fucking crate. We pretty much got the same fucking music, and
We don't play the same.
No, which is unavoidable, but. I mean, we have enough for the same shit. If it ain't the same shit, it sounds the same, But because of that, one would think that someone is thinking like, well, I get why these really big headliners are popular, but man, there are a lot of cats that are pretty decent that could rock a fucking party, and we ain't got to pay him $500,000.
Someone that can rock a party better.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But it brings that to mind that I would like to see someone investigate with.
Economy.
Yeah. You know, as far as like the local side of it. I'm not saying never bringing another headliner again, but there are a lot of local talented dudes that, you know, could rock a fucking party. Now, I'm not even talking about me.
Well, there ain't but 5. No more than 10.
Okay.
There's definitely not 40 fucking 9. Tell you that.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But no, I get what you're saying. No, seriously, I like to see them on a broad scale.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take money out of the headliner's mouth at all. But I think we might see a pullback for as people trying to maximize their potential. If you can get someone that say, you know, where we're at, that you know, upper middle guy, whatever that's doing it, that's out gigging, that's gigging, traveling. If you can get us for $500 to $800, why would you? And money's tough. Do you want to spend that for $2,500 or for whatever? I mean, you may want to, but people might see a resurgence, or not a resurgence, but a surgence of cats that aren't quote unquote your A headliners.
Well, here's the flip side of it though, and the flip side is that generally speaking, there's certain aspects about the scene where, had you asked us X amount of years ago, like, oh man, they'll never get there. Like, no, hell no. They'll never get to a point where any self-respecting DJ will play for drink tickets. You know, like, so since we've been so wrong about that,
grossly wrong.
I have to leave a little bit of room for what's gotten us here in the first place. And what that somewhat loosely entails is everyone being so fucking thirsty that once we open up, like, I don't know how lower you go with no money and drink tickets. I don't know how much further you go, but
that can't play out for locally, yes, but traveling.
I would love for
even have the benefit.
I would love for even locally, no, because that goes back to for the love pacifying bad business. And I think just from a general standpoint, you know, I realize it sounds kind of self-centered for me to say, you know, if I occupy a time slot, somebody's making money, so should I.
How does that sound self-centered?
Because, and I'm only juxtaposing that against for the love.
Yeah.
You know, if you really loved it, it wouldn't really fucking matter and the money will come.
It's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, the fuck out of here.
I drew that out for emphasis.
You can love it and still make money.
And I'm only calling it stupid to be so one-sided about it.
Yeah.
And it's the lack of well-roundedness is what I'm addressing. You know, it just can't be all for the love. You know, at some point, for the love is going to reach an intersection called fuck out of here.
I love that.
And the thing about it is that it shouldn't be. I'll say it differently. We all know someone that just reached the end of the road and was like, fuck out of here. Like, I'm done.
A shitload.
And like, how many talented, you know, like really talented dudes do we no longer have access to because of that?
Oh, tons of them.
You know, now some of them do it before that, where they you know, I still want to play, but I'm not going to do it, you know, for gas money. You know, I don't give a fuck how broke I am. If I got enough gas to get here, I got enough gas to get home. You know, so
yeah.
Why does it have to be, you know, not until your back is against the wall or you're frustrated to do something a little more like right, you know, as opposed to be willing to walk away when you try to negotiate that deal. Like, I get it. We all want to burn. We all want to, you know, especially a lot of cats that have been sitting in the back, on the back burners for years, you know, trying to get their comeuppance, you know, and they're trying to network their way to their goals, you know, and they feel stuck. So on one side, I get it. Who am I to say, hey, don't take that fucking night that you've been dying to have your own night and do it for free. You're worth more than that. I get it with someone, well, you get to play more than I do and I want to fucking play. I get it.
For nobody.
But if you have a dream, I can get how you feel like you can turn that around and make it a reality.
Listen, one of the things that really solidified our partnership was when we looked at each other and said, "We're done. Second Sunday."
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
And we knew that we gave ourselves a weekend. We were in Pagosa Springs, and we're done.
Yeah.
Because we knew the numbers were down, and we pulled the plug on it because we didn't chase it because we knew, because we've been doing this long enough, that shit was not going to play out anymore, for whatever the reason.
Yeah, I mean, because it wasn't just that the numbers were down. The numbers were down because of things that were happening.
Exactly.
With the establishment.
But we pulled it. We're like, done.
Oh yeah.
And now, granted, we
didn't hesitate.
We have a little more. Well, we went back a little bit, but not long.
Well, it's just that we
knew it.
We were going to see through our commitments because we had already we booked the entire year out. And obviously, it was more a matter of whether or not we were going to go after that last commitment, which happened to be the anniversary.
And granted, we you and I have a little more opportunities than some, and I get that. But which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Which comes first? Do you have those opportunities because you've said, "No, I'm not doing this," or do you? I mean, you know what I mean. Besides the skills and all that sort of stuff, but that's part of it to say yourself, your self-worth.
Well, it depends on how much granola you eat. It depends on how hippie are you. That determines whether or not the thoughts manifested.
Man, we need to sign off, dude. I think I'm getting the COVID.
Oh man, but generally speaking, I do like. I like that. Those that are itching to share part of what they're passionate about have the opportunity to do so.
Yes.
I think one of the things that give me pause is our overall lack of thoroughness. I mentioned to him a while ago that I was going to do a video about streaming and facilitating a lot of the questions I've seen on Facebook about how do I do this, how do I do that, and a lot of people, I've answered a lot of questions that people have had the answer to in their possession. So it didn't really make it about the necessity of it or people wanting to blah, blah, blah. It's more about the mindset with which people approach it.
Yeah.
That's my bigger concern, because part of me feels like there's no such thing as a stupid question, and I'd rather you ask it than not ask at all. But it ain't the what, it's the how. The unwillingness to be a journeyman and to seek out the information that will make you better at what you are passionate about.
There's this thing called Google.
That's the thing about it. That's the thing that governs the choices we make.
Yeah.
The shitty deals we go for, whether or not we value ourselves, whether or not we pimp ourselves out, whether or not what we're doing is fucking up the game for other people.
All that shit.
All of that shit is what it encompasses. So I can get all specific, but I'm into overarching theories because if this is your intent and your mindset, then achieving your goal, is going to have that ultimate goal in mind. Every choice that you make.
And a lot of things you make, a lot of things that a lot of this is like a lot of things in life are counterintuitive. You like say turning down a gig. That could be, counterintuitive in some ways. I'm turning down this gig. It's the all money and good money type of situation. You know what I mean? You hold out and you know what I'm saying? Like and then you got to have the ability to say no or say I'm not going to compromise on this or I'm just not going to do this, no matter what it is.
Yes.
I'm not going to do this because I'm not ready. My head's not right. All right, they're not paying me. Whatever the situation, you've got to say no. It's like picking up ass. You've got to be able to turn your back on it to lock it down. In broad stroke wise, you know what I mean? You have to say no. And that no could not just be no. No, I'm not going to not do this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to short stroke this shit. And that's a hard thing for some people to do. It's hard for everybody to do.
Yeah.
Because the easy way is always is easier.
which I get is a tough sell if you don't get many offers.
Hey, I got one offer to stream.
And it makes me think of the article I read about. Actually, no, it was a personal story. The friend of someone I grew up with, and the short version is that he was doing a gig at some time ago at some ballroom, and the short version is that it turns out that the artist was Little Richard, and he did about an hour, and after about an hour, he was slated to do 2 hours, and after that first hour, he asked the lighting guy, the LD, to turn up the lights, and he said, "I'm not playing another song until I see some people that look like me in here." And the promoter was fucking pissed, and he fucking sat there and he said, "Y'all got kitchen help, don't you? Then go get them motherfuckers, you know." And eventually, you know, he did it, came back in, and he had them come up front, and he said, I need my fans to sit right there."
There you go.
Because like a bunch of round tables, so he had the people that were sitting there get up, had the black folks sit down, and then he did another 2 hours.
Oh, there you go.
Now the thing about it, on one side you could say, well, was he Little Richard at the time, or was he just a black dude playing the piano? You know, like that was gonna make a fucking difference.
That's right.
The bottom line is that either way, obviously, you know, if he was just a black dude playing the piano, there's a better chance of him getting shot or getting his ass kicked. So I'm assuming he was Little Richard at the time, you know, but at the same time, he still could have shot himself in the foot by doing something like that. Either way, it wasn't easy, you know, to say, hey, look, I'm willing to provide a service. I would love to provide a service, but it has to be like this.
Especially when as slow as time slows down when there's no music.
Yeah.
That's like the longest time.
Well, and the thing is that's one of the reasons why I felt comfortable turning down the couple of offers that I had, because I wasn't feeling it. You know, music has always been a refuge to deal with certain aspects of pain. And at the time, I was kind of focused on the creation of pain. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, fuck managing it on the back end. Like, I'm watching people really do each other dirty right now.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fucking with me. Like, I'm working with all these elderly folks, you know, buying supplies and shit. And like, I'm seeing how many people are being neglected, and like the family ain't even checking on them and shit. You know, so I'm like, God damn, you know, like, so I didn't want to deal with no fucking music.
That shocked me.
But I didn't want to play just to be playing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my thing. Like, I do
that at home.
Yeah, like I can do that shit at home.
By myself. I do it every day.
Yeah. But presenting myself under this, not even obligation, but even if it was the willingness to share, right now, what I have ain't really worth sharing.
I saw this fool on like 17 decks just a couple days ago. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Motherfucking showing off and shit.
I'm learning how to sink. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you were sinking all right. I'm surprised you didn't have this thing out.
The 78?
The rerun, dude.
Crank it up. But yeah.
I'm glad we jumped in and did a little something today.
Yeah, I actually managed to, you know, fire everything up and get a little sweat in after talking to Ma Dukes Mother's Day. So, you know, it hasn't been that long. It's long enough, but still happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. But yeah, I am looking forward to this thing starting the process of. It'll never be over. I think it's gonna be like kind of like 9/11 and TSA type shit. There's gonna be certain things in place for a while now.
Well, where do I get the pass through then? where do I sign up for that at? Because I need my pre-check if this is gonna be a full thing. Because I ain't in for. I'm done with this shit.
This is another little business idea.
Yeah, you know it will, man.
Pandemic pre-check status.
People gonna rise up. They're gonna forget about it, just like everything else.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
short memories.
Very short memories.
Yeah.
Very short memories, and that's good. Good.
But I am looking forward to. I didn't go as far as doing an outline, so I'm not even gonna mention shit that I'm not even sure anymore. Fuck it. But I am looking forward to, once I get some other things in order, I will be looking at some of the requests to do some live streams.
Me too if I get some. It's okay, I don't blame you.
Well, the people are still figuring out what's possible. Like I had a Zoom meeting with a bunch of cats that I grew up with.
I saw that.
And hadn't a lot of them I hadn't even talked to in decades, and we've been friends like solid 35 years.
I saw that, dude. That's cool.
But at the same time, like cats are doing stuff like that for using Zoom, where like I guess you can like mute your mic or whatever, and then when that person's slot is up,
Yeah.
you have your other DJ or whatever. But
I'll tell you what needs to stop happening. Saturday Night Live and all that crap. I don't want to see anything. I stopped doing it. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see anything. People at home with their hair all jacked up and the bad lighting. I don't need to see that. Hollywood folks, get your shit right. Just we can do without you. My public service announcement.
Well,
we always look like this.
I am looking forward to what people come up with. Different ways of being creative and standing out. Some people stand out for the sake of standing out, and some people stand out because they just are inherently different. So I like that there are people doing things differently with backgrounds and, or just not even seeing the fucking DJ and it just being like
old school.
Some visual art,
Yeah.
I saw, big up to my man Jason Lima, I saw a clip of him out on some cliff, with Vegas as the backdrop type shit. Like, give us something, man. At least when it comes to that live streaming shit, like.
We'll do one in Pahrump. Man, I got the COVID, man.
I guess.
I got the COVID.
Hey, that heat'd kill it. That heat'd dry it up for you.
Oh, shit.
You'll be good out there.
Yeah, well,
But yeah, generally speaking, I do appreciate everybody's contributions. I think no one expects anybody to be perfect. It should be obvious that you're just striving to do the best you can and spreading or sharing what you love. Until next time, I appreciate your time.
What you got coming up?
I ain't got a goddamn thing coming up.
Well, you know what? Let me go ahead. One thing before we say goodbye. Be on the lookout for a release from this guy on Soulsupplement Records. It's going to be coming out really soon. I think he's supposed to have the remix ready for me, I think in a week.
Yep.
Be on the lookout.
It'll be ready even if it ain't ready.
Be a long time. Yeah, he says that. It's been a long time, but it's going to seal the deal then. We're going to be partners on a whole nother level. So be on the lookout if you're on the promo list and all that kind of good stuff, because I'm going to promote this one like probably more than I promote any other one. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I doing that? I keep saying that's all you need to take off is a couple of damn releases. I'm screwing myself. I'm just kidding, dude. Because you know what? 'Cause I ain't scared. I ain't scared. I'll play with anybody.
And I am. I'm looking forward to throwing my hat in the ring.
It's good too. You got good stuff coming. Real good.
And
Sorry,
I'm curious to see. Actually, because had he not done it, I wouldn't have done it. I ain't gonna lie. But I am curious to see if I can contribute something. I've been fighting for years the notion that you have to produce in order to get DJ gigs.
First thing you said to me. Anti that.
It appears I was wrong. Like that fad just hadn't gone away, and but at the same time, I can't do it only for that reason.
No.
So if it feels like I'm just contributing bullshit, then
trust me, I've heard it. The bones of it. It's good, because I wouldn't put it out if it wasn't. I mean, I don't care.
Which is one of few reasons why I eventually was okay with moving forward, because I know he wouldn't.
You know me, I'd boo the shit out of it. Boo! That shit's terrible. I think my track record's pretty strong on that. Thanks you guys for tuning in, though, seriously.
Yeah. Again, till next time, I appreciate your time, and we will do more episodes.
Definitely.
A little more often. got a few obstacles to get over, and things will clear up a little bit, and we'll be able to.
More consistent.
Yeah. All right.
Everybody stay safe.
Safe-ish. Like, I mean, we could use the housing market to go down, so we're gonna need to get rid of a few of y'all. I'm just.
Yeah, I said I'm an asshole. He said it's all pie cake.
I say it with a smile though.
I say it with authority.
But hopefully not too many of y'all die.
Exactly. None of you guys will listen to this.
No, I'm
None
kidding.
of y'all.
I'm kidding. Be well and stay safe. And until next time, I appreciate your time. Don't forget, no peace without unity.
Much love.